Bam, we're live. Brian Friend, what's up, brother?
Oh, red. That's different.
Sousa was we came on a little early and Sousa was fooling
Christmas
around.
episode?
Say that again?
Is this the Christmas episode? We have the red subtitles instead of the yellow?
This is the World War III episode with the red.
bloodbath.
Chase Ingraham, nice to see you, brother.
Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me okay?
I can. Tell me about your logo on your hat before I suck
Wait,
myself
what's going on? We got red subtitle Instagram handles. You got a red vest. He's got a red hat. So do I need to do something?
It's pink. This is pink.
Oh, okay.
This is my gym logo.
That's nice. I like that. I'm gonna have to steal one of those.
It's got the star with the D.
You know,
You guys can see
I have to tell you this, Jason. It's not a good or a bad thing, but Sevan's probably going to tell some silly story in a minute, so I might as well get one in.
I am. Yes. Good. I am going to tell a silly story, please.
When I moved to Texas to go to college, I played on a soccer team there. The first guy that I met on the team ended up being a very good player, and he came from the Dallas area. And he was just one of those sports fans that if his team had a bad day, it was unpleasant to be around him during and after the game the whole day. And he ruined Dallas sports for me. I used to be a Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki fan. I loved the Cowboys in the 90s. Dallas Stars were fun to watch. Mike Madonna. This guy just totally just killed all my momentum for any Dallas thing.
Fair. I'm not a Maverick fan. I'm a Spurs fan. So I was not a fan of Steve Nash and Dirk either.
How did Zach George do? Did he qualify? He's coming on the podcast tomorrow morning. Have you guys ever seen this guy with his shirt off?
Yes.
This guy with his shirt on. This guy's like a human freight train. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by naked men. This is a text I got this morning, and it said it's from Peter from the Coffee Wads and Pods podcast. It says, and I asked him if I could read it before I read it. By the way, but by the way, even people who write the worst, absolutely nastiest shit to me, I will never read it on the air or post it unless you were to block me and didn't let me respond to you. So if you wrote me something like totally fucked up, I still wouldn't post it until I asked you. Destroying it with the quarterfinal episodes and everything else. Such a good team you've built. Speaks volumes of the caliber of people who show up for you on episodes. You built something special, Peter. I said, Peter, ! Thank you. I don't take any for granted, and I'm actually tripping. And I am actually tripping.
Well, that's very nice of him.
He said you've changed the game. I don't think it's nice. It's just a solid observation. What are you doing, Chase? Don't ruin it. You've changed the game. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do between now and Madison. I say this with all humility. This is going to be a tough one. I don't know anything about changing the game, but there's for some of you who don't know, I made the game. Every single fucking person you see involved in CrossFit media anywhere on the fucking planet is on my shoulders. The people who were here before me, they're gone. I was never paid, just like Dave Castro was never paid to run the CrossFit Games. I was never paid to do the behind the scenes. We didn't have to do any of that. I never had to make any of those videos. I never had to jump in my motorhome and crisscross from California to fucking New York and back multiple times, chasing down athletes. I did it all because I wanted to, and I loved to, and I loved the fucking athletes. I love human beings, and I did it all just fucking because. What's interesting is the people you're looking at here, it's probably identical, although I can't speak exactly for Angelo. Everyone's put in thousands of hours of free time. So, because, and I don't mean that as a dig at Angelo. He's just not media. We just brought him on for his good looks in his youth. And I never even really thought of that until Peter.
Are you sure it's not his proximity to Rich that keeps him around?
Well, that too. It's multiple. There's like 5 things. I have the list over here. Reasons to have Angelo on the show.
He's pretty fit. I mean. He can give us a perspective that some of us struggle.
When I was training at Mayhem today, as long as he throws in 3 of those, so I just thought of that because
I got those written down.
Someone said on the on my Instagram account the other day, Sevan doesn't know shit about CrossFit. What's crazy is, and I told the guy to eat a dick or something, but just because it's fun saying that. But
you didn't say thank you! !
It's just nuts. It's just nuts. I'm not asking for any credit for it. But for those of you who historically want to know, like I made the game. I registered the first Twitter account, not because someone told me to. They were totally against it. I mean, the stories go on and on and on. And that is true about Dave Castro. He was never paid to run the CrossFit Games. There was a training department, and he ran it with Nicole Carroll. And the CrossFit Games were just his hobby. That's what SEALs do. They run international fucking sporting events as a hobby. Okay. Those of you today, this is the last chance to get 20% off at the coffee, Paper Street Coffee. It is now the only coffee I drink, except for when I run out, I drink strong coffee because it's quick and easy and fun to make. And you can get 20% off, and you get enrolled in a contest to win a Rogue bar. And I want to thank California Hormones for all of their generous contributions, anyone who makes this show work. And of course, our original sponsor, barbelljobs.com, and our most recent sponsor. Unfortunately, this sponsor, Brian, has already called them out for lying, and I think Brian's correct. It's the 360 barbell brush, and as Brian pointed out, we think it's only actually about a 270. And we apologize for any misinformation. There. Chase Ingram, Angelo, Brian.
Those brushes are incredible. It's literally.
Man, I can't wait to get one of those.
Get the brass tipped one is the best thing you'll ever use to clean up.
I used it this morning to scrape off 12 years of herpes, and it was fucking amazing. Just
Oh man.
So let's start there. Zach George is did that guy make it? Do I have to?
Yeah. No, he's in. He's in.
So we don't have to cancel the show tomorrow. He's in.
36th, and I mean, I'm sure. Well, we can talk about it later if you want. But
Wait a second.
The European men's division.
I thought
no, they get 60. They get 60. They get 60. 120, 60, and then all 30s across the board. But the 60 men that made it, there are like 50 killers that I know in that 60 men.
Okay. And that'll be interesting to talk about that because we know that's a favorite subject actually of Brian's, and now it's kind of mine about this shortage of entries from these foreign lands. Brian, Mr. Souza and Caleb Beaver in the back end, and of course, who we always keep in the back end and just pull up to get the ratings up. It's Danielle Brandon. Danielle, do you have a shirt on?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, shit. All right.
Can you hear the wind out here? Or should I go inside?
We only hear you.
You can only hear me?
Danielle, we got Brian, Angelo DiCicco from the Mayhem Empire, and Chase Ingram, fresh off a diaper change. How are you?
That's not untrue.
Wait, what'd you just do?
Nothing. He changed the diaper.
Changing diapers, dad stuff.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that.
Are you getting ready to celebrate?
I did last night, and some more. We're actually going to Kotler's daughter's gymnastics meet.
Oh, cool.
You're awfully dressed up for a gymnastics meet.
Well, we'll do more after, so.
Do we want to talk about your success just now with the quarterfinals, or do we want to talk about Annika Greer and Bethany Shadburn? Which you will just roll the dial.
Wait, why the first name? Like why did that pop up?
Isn't she training in Vegas? Does she train with you?
No, she just came for quarters.
Okay, and I think she's just having some issues. I was listening to Tommy and Shawnee podcast, Talk Elite Fitness. It's where I get all my information, so then I can bring it to you with the R-rated version. And they were saying that her fifth score hasn't landed in the bucket.
So we are working on that.
Oh, okay. Oh. Can you give us any information on that? Or is that top secret?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it's top secret for now.
Good answer. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good. I like top secret.
I mean, yeah. It's not my information to give.
Understood. Where are you?
I'm actually at my apartment.
I hear girls.
Yeah, I have a bunch of people over.
This is a girls episode where we've dedicated this episode to women. To the
we got Annika Greer here. Bethany's not here though.
Tell me about doing the workouts this year. Who you did them with? Was it a good environment? Are you happy with your finishes?
Yeah, it was a good environment. I would say it was rocky in the beginning because I was overly competitive, and was not probably the most welcoming to new people, but it was good. It was overall good, and
Right, but that's not
we all did
that's
amazing.
that's how all of you are.
Yep.
You guys are super friendly, but when it's competition time, it's that's the time. It's like, yeah, you're my opponent.
Exactly.
Oh, I want to hear that story. So you're in the gym getting chalking some body part, and all of a sudden you look in and Annika walks in, and you're like, what the fuck is this bitch doing here?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that how it was?
Oh. Yeah. I was like, this is my house.
Hey, you need to have some lines so when that happens again next year, like you pretend like you don't even know the girl. You're like, can you just put the music onto this station and stand off the court while I'm going? Just like totally act like you have no idea who they are.
Done. Doing it.
Are you so can you tell us that story, the details of that story? What a fun story.
What details?
Just
Of
if someone
her
coming
coming
on of her and you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Has a happy ending. She's at your house, right?
right. Yeah, happy ending, I'm like, I think it was just like a territorial thing, and like having a new athlete, right? Like, she's my competitor and she doesn't train with us, right? So I didn't welcome it necessarily as like, oh, she's a training partner. It was like more like, hey, she's a competitor coming into my house using me, and I'm going to use her for these workouts. You know what I mean? And again, being a competitor and how competitive we all are, I probably was really aggressive about it in the beginning. I was.
Does Justin come over and he's like, okay, Danielle, settle down. We have a get.
Yeah,
Oh,
there were some snapping moments that I had to suck it up and apologize for.
Are we going to see this? Are you going to release this? You need to release
The
this on your
funny
YouTube.
thing is, it's freaking in one of my videos after a workout.
And does anyone notice it? Has anyone commented on it?
I don't know. I honestly realized, I probably should go to YouTube and check that out.
This is a great question by Rich Holton, or I'm going to turn a question. Did you treat her worse than you treated Jason Hopper?
She treated very different. Two different.
Because Jason deserved
competitor.
it. Jason deserved it. Annika's innocent.
Oh, come on. Jason's so quiet, and you just beat him every time.
Not innocent. Annika, yes, innocent. It was not deserved.
You see your finish in third place. Are you happy? Are you happy with it? Is it just like, hey, I'm going to the semifinals, that's all that needs to be done? Or is it like, fuck, I need to be at the top of the heap?
No, I think we went into this weekend like, the goal was just make a semifinal. And there were a couple events where it was like, okay, we know there's more there, and that's fine. We don't have to be there right now.
Are you healthy?
I am. Yeah. And like the scariest event I would say was the total. Like, I was like, dang, I've been squatting for, I think, 2 months, and we just took out overhead squats again because those didn't feel great. And then like, I haven't been benching. So I was like, fuck. But so the numbers I got like were totally more than what I could ask for.
Yeah. In the top 10, there was, I'm only seeing one girl who beat you, and she just happens to be a 16-year-old. She must have punched in her numbers wrong. There's no way a 16-year-old has 713 pounds.
Is that Mal? Is Mal 16?
No, Olivia Kerstetter, or Olivia Kerstetter Hepner.
Oh, yeah.
And Amanda Barnhart. Amanda Barnhart had 715.
Yeah, I just need to put on like 10 pounds.
How much did you bench?
195.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And what is your lifetime PR on the bench?
I don't even know. I literally don't remember the last time I benched.
How was time? How was the 30 minutes? How'd you do on time?
Easy. It was fine. Especially like we didn't really know what I was gonna do. So the clean, we just like hit a number, and I could have gone up on the clean and overheads. I could have gone up on all 3 lifts, but we just didn't want to push it. There's no point.
Chase, you didn't do any of the workouts yourself, did you?
No. I did not. I wanted to, but I'm trying to do more self-preservation than I have in the past.
Yeah.
Did a lot of people at your gym do them?
We had a couple qualify for quarters. Our female athlete, she has got some bicep thing going on, but we're focusing on masters because I tore my calf in week 1 of the Open, so I figured
I saw
lunges and
that.
pistols probably not best to keep that up. So, but I love all the events. I really, it was the hardest thing ever not to do these quarterfinals for me.
Yeah.
Well, specifically, I was just curious because of what Daniel was saying about the total test. Like, I saw 30 minutes, and I was like, "There's no way I'll need 30 minutes to do this test. Like,
Yeah.
50 minutes, I'll be done." But suddenly, I get into it, and I use the entire time, and so did
Really?
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we've heard
especially,
about.
like, you had
Go
to
ahead.
measure your bar in there too. And that was like super awkward. Like there was one guy in our gym who like they wasted a lot of time measuring.
What did you measure your bar? What part of the bar did you measure?
You had to measure like from the
Four-
like 40 inches or whatever, and you
Yeah,
couldn't go
40
wider
inches.
than that, which is like
For the,
ridiculous.
for the
Like,
bench.
yeah, for the bench. Sorry.
Oh, is that to maintain some sort of range of motion?
Yeah.
I guess, but I don't know who's gonna bench that wide.
To do
Jeez.
something like someone grabs the bar like outside the weights.
Yeah.
What did you do last, Danielle? Because we heard a bunch of people. We've talked to a bunch of people, and I kept hearing
yeah.
that people ran out of time. They did overhead squat last, and they were running out of time
They
there.
had
You
to
had
do
to
those.
do overhead squat.
Oh, you had okay. So there was that order. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I don't know shit about CrossFit. I do. Yes, that is correct. So you're in now, and
Yeah.
is there anyone in your gym who's walking the line or who didn't make it, or does everyone get to celebrate? Is everyone pretty pumped?
Raph is really close. Raphael Durand. I think I was saying that right. And then Mitch, Carrie's boyfriend. He's like I want to
McLuhan?
say, yeah, Mitch McLuhan. I think
He's
he's like
really
123, 124.
Which is, assuming that it goes away as last year's, he has to prepare as
Right.
if he's made it because there'll be people who don't accept.
Exactly. That's what we're hoping.
How did the giant dude do? DeLugos.
He did good. Like
did.
in the workouts, we knew he would crush. Like he crushed.
He's in it. Did he make it, Brian?
Oh, I wasn't very impressed with his rowing paces.
They're insane.
He totally
Oh my
flexed
God,
too.
yeah.
He posted it before scores were even due, and like he posted it. He was that.
Sevan, you could afford 2 minutes and 19 seconds to watch him do that workout. It's
Yeah.
sick.
Holy cow.
So awesome.
Wow. Hey,
And
how did
somebody
Allison?
got like 220.
Golly.
Hey, is Scuds at your
Anthony
gym?
Davis.
Allison Scuds.
Is she what? Yeah, she's here.
And how did she do? Did she make it?
Yeah, I think she's like right around the top 50 even.
Yeah.
Holy
I think
shit.
I think it
Okay.
might be in 50. I think it's 50-50.
Yeah, Alex
so.
made it. Kyra made it.
I was talking
Yeah,
some mad shit about her. I didn't think she had a chance in hell.
Oh no, she's
For semis? Come on.
yeah,
man.
yeah.
She's
There's
good.
a big difference between having a chance for semis and having a chance for the games. She's like could be a top 10 at a semifinal, but even that is different than making a top 5. But to go to the
Right.
semis is never a question for her.
Yeah, true.
So Danielle, when you say you're healthy, did you let the wheels come off the bus on all the workouts? That's it. It was all there.
I would say like the pistol GHD one, I didn't attack it like I wanted to. And then I just kind of like didn't really play my own game and went 10-10 and then had to break it. I did 8 and then had to do 2 singles. But I just like went for it, but I was just like nervous. I was nervous on the GHD pistols. I just should have attacked it more, but it was all good.
Do you still have the same boyfriend you had last time we interviewed you? The guy in the middle of the country? I'm just wondering if he's come out and visit you yet. I'm wondering what you're like, if you're going to be traveling or what you're going to be doing. That I'm just leading you down to see what, like, I'm trying to like get a test on how serious you are between now and the games. What's going to look like?
Yeah, I go to California tomorrow for a True Grit thing, a sponsorship thing, and then I don't know that I'll really leave that much. Especially we don't know what semi I'm doing.
Okay. And do you drive there to California? You're in Vegas. You drive?
No, we're gonna drive, or we're gonna fly. Sorry.
What? Are you gonna wear a mask on the plane?
Do you have to?
No, not you. Don't have to do shit. You do what you want. You're Danielle Brandon.
Well, probably not then.
Are you going Southwest?
I think we're Southwest. Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to. Anytime.
Really?
So a friend of mine just flew Southwest to San Diego, and she said every time someone asks you, just say okay, and then you just fumble around in your purse, and then you just put it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just stand up and look them in the eyes and be like, you know, I bench 195 on a bad day.
All right. I'll tell 2 girls that I did outlift them. No, actually, me and Kyra tied. I think she benched 195.
Do any of you guys have a question? Chase, don't get too excited. Do any of you guys have a question for Danielle before we let her go party at the gymnastics meet?
Danielle, how many days
I'll-
off will you
go
take?
ahead.
Will you take any days off after an event like this? You guys straight back into it, even in like today?
Like today, I wanted to do mono, but then people said no, don't do it. So I was like, whatever. And then tomorrow and Tuesday, because I'll be in California, I'll probably just do conditioning, some like longer e-bombs and stuff.
But no plan to break off. This is
No. I didn't really deload for quarters. I mean, like the day before, but
It's one of my favorite phrases. Chase, do you have a farewell question for Miss Brandon?
Well, were you there for DeLugos's 219?
oh yeah, and it's
What was
funny
that like?
though. Well, it's funny though because he's right. We had all these heats. I was like, okay, like me and Alex will go together because like she's really strong. We'll push each other. And then like Matt just like set himself up in the corner in his own heat, and like just like was going, and we were like, Matt's going. He like, Kiefer likes to say he called a shot on that one, and he did.
Yeah, that was my horse for that one.
Yeah,
he was just ready to go.
he was.
He couldn't
yeah.
wait around for whatever was happening. He knew it was
He
time.
had to be in his own heat. I get it.
Here's my friend who works at Southwest is one of the 6 flight attendants to have filed a lawsuit against the airlines to stop masks. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Cool. Good for you.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. You're awesome.
Of course. Thank you,
Stoked
guys.
you made it. Everyone
Congrats,
in the community is
Danielle.
pumped. You rock.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys do too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
She's single. 22, 40,
That's the
22,
takeaway.
That's the
22,
takeaway
48.
after all that.
Takeaway,
22, 48 in. I would like to run through the people who won all of the continents, the top 3 in all of them. They all
Top
deserve.
3 in all of them.
Yeah, just basically run through men, women as fast as we can before our next couple guests come on. Sousa, when do they come on? 4:30. Okay.
Let's preface this section by saying you're going to recognize a lot of these names, and then we can talk about afterwards why.
Okay, sounds good. So can we start with North America?
It's also unofficial.
Oh, thank you. Good point.
Yep.
First place women, we have Mallory O'Brien, Alexis Raptis, Danielle Brandon. Anything you want to say there, Brian? Of course, we'll circle back around with these later, and we can say anything we want. But just to make it through, make sure we get everyone mentioned in these.
Yeah, I would say of the 3, Alexis Raptis is probably the one to take note of here. I mean, she was basically an execution error away from making the games last year. I would consider her one of the 20 most likely candidates to make it for North American women this year. And a performance like this suggests she's on the right path.
Chase, anything?
Danielle is one casual competition away from winning the quarterfinals. Per her description.
Yeah, and what do you mean by that?
I mean, she said she didn't push the pistol one, and she got 11th.
Yeah.
And then she left all bunch of table and still got 64th, and it was only 27 points out of, or not even that, 17 points out of first place. So that's good for Danielle Brandon.
The other thing to notice here is how high the points are at the top. Remember from the Open that Mal was winning the Worldwide Open with 4 points, competing against 100,000 women or 80,000 women or whatever it is. And here against a much smaller field, there's a lot more parity in terms of the points.
Also worldwide too, which is even more indicative of what you're talking about. It's pretty crazy.
Angelo, you can, by the way, I'm not going to ask you, but at any point you want to jump in and slap these guys around, just do it.
Well, I don't want to jump in. I don't want to. I feel like I'm jumping in too early. But Brian, have you compared Mallory's scores to Tia's scores at all? Have you looked at that or no?
Yeah, if Tia was competing in North America, she'd have scored 12 points. If she was competing in Europe, she'd have scored 16.
Wow, great question, by the way.
16.
16 in Europe, but that's because I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on this, and I don't know, but I believe that any time on the leaderboard for event number 3 that's faster than 12 minutes and 45 seconds is an invalid time. And in Europe, she's like, there's like 9 of those scores basically.
Really?
There's
for
people.
women.
There's people who thought the shuttle runs were for the 25 for distance, right? Not 15. I heard that's kind of an issue.
That's what I think, and I'm actually shocked that it hasn't been corrected already. So I'm like not as confident as I originally was in that. I don't even think we talked about it last night because I was like certain that those would all be gone. I mean, I had known earlier yesterday that a lot of the like notable top men were all finishing between 13 and 14 minutes. And I'm talking about like guys that if I had not seen the leaderboard, I would have expected to be right at the top of this. Lazar Jukic, Jeff Adler, Alex Gatulis, Pat Vellner type guys.
Ryan, hold on one second. Is this strictly a European thing?
No, there were
South America as well that I know of.
Sorry, outside of North America, anyone who uses the metric system, it's in those areas, right? I mean, because we use it. What's ours called? The Kings?
No. Listen. There are still. Yesterday, Jeff Adler with a time of 13:11 in that workout, which I think is a legitimate time, was in like 11th place for the men in North America. Right now, he's all the way up to 7th. But the people ahead of him are people that, with the exception of Mitch Spute and Owen Bernstein, are people I've never heard of. And even Owen Bernstein's time, there's no way that that's legitimate, 11:46. And if you look at all their other scores, it doesn't add up for these people. So I think that everyone except for maybe Mitch Spute, who was on the games winning team in 2017 with Wasatch, will probably drop down. And that's going to happen in every region. So those 16 points for Tia will actually be less than that in Europe once that happens.
Explain to me what happened again? Where's the misunderstanding?
So the shuttle sprints were per 50-foot section, not like per touch. So the 25-foot shuttle, but it would down and back equals 1, not down and back equals 2. Is that correct? Right? Is that the easiest way to say that?
Okay.
And it was clear, but I can still understand how people would confuse that, I guess.
Are there people who aren't going to go to the semifinals because they fucked this up, like big names?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Maybe in Europe for the women. Sam was like 64, 66.
There could be women that are out that could end up moving in. That's a good point, Chase.
Well, that's what I mean. How is CrossFit going to change that? I mean, that's really, it's the athlete's fault, right?
Ask for the videos.
Yeah, that 100%. And they have to be asking for those videos, watching them, seeing, and then they will have, assess a penalty for everyone accordingly. And it could be an invalid score. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what to do.
You just have to watch like the first 4 minutes of the video. They go down, back for 4. Like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, all right.
Shit.
Brian, I wish they had a worldwide quarterfinal leaderboard, even though it doesn't matter, just so you could
we talked about this last night.
Cross comparison.
Yeah, it would be super convenient and very beneficial. The other thing that we were saying is we wish that they listed the individual lifts for the total.
I know. I want to know who has the biggest bench in the world right now.
Yeah,
well, at least in quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I mean that there are obviously a lot of people that are interested in getting stats out about the athletes and breaking that stuff down. And I don't know why CrossFit is withholding that. Like it's very, very easy on their end. They have it listed 1 rep max clean, 1 rep max overhead squat right there. You could easily have an input column and just input them, sum the total, and export it to the leaderboard the same way, and let the people who want to do that do that. But maybe they'll do it on themselves. So that would be really cool if they did something like that. And
maybe Schroeder has all that. Have you talked to him?
I did talk to him today, but I didn't ask him that.
Men in North America, top 3: Justin Medeiros, Chandler Smith, and Jeffrey Adler. Are we? Is Chandler Smith? Is he like the super child over there at Ben Bergeron's training camp now? With
he did this all in Krypton.
Yeah, he did it in like 24 hours or less.
Yeah,
right?
That's the craziest part. He did it all in a day.
I was reading his Instagram post. He says, "Well, it's basically saying, "Oh, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I gave it my best. Like, who knows?" He's in second place. He said, "Well, I hope this is enough to make it in with the big dogs." Second place.
And he just got engaged too, right? So he's gotten a little soft, right?
Oh yeah, that definitely soft.
A little bit of the fire out of him. Holy cow! Well, congratulations.
That's scary to see.
Okay, can we move over to? Let's go from North America to let's go to Africa, and then we'll just work our way down. Africa, no surprise, Jason Smith, Ruan.
That is surprising. He's 38 years old, and there's still no one in Africa that can take him down.
Ridiculous.
There's.
By the way, Ruan Duvenage is really good, and he just because they only get one spot and he can never beat Jason, no one knows who he is. That guy's a beast.
Pronounce his last name again for me. Ruan what?
I said Duvenage. I don't know.
Duvenage. Ruan Duvenage in
Duvenage.
second place, and third place, Keelan Henry,
who's also very good and does exceptionally well on online qualifier events over the last couple of years.
That's the guy that just loops the videos, right? No, I'm just joking.
He looks like a rugby player.
In the women's division, coming out of Africa, we have Michelle Morand, Michelle Bassinet, and Lee Kiruz.
Mm-hmm.
And have either of them been to the games before out of those three?
Yeah, Michelle Bazinet made it last year, but it's more than likely going to come down to Miranda and Bazinet again this year. They seem to be the best two. Obviously, Lee's scores are very close. I think there's a little bit more competition here, like maybe 3 or 4 people can make it, but there's not a lot of depth at the top. Like this is going to be one of those. I mean, I see their scores are kind of high here, but probably at the semifinal, the winning score will be like less than 20 points, assuming there's 7 events.
Does Sam Briggs make it if she lives in Africa?
Well,
yes, easily.
Wow. Serious?
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Sorry, that was almost not even nice to ask.
No, I mean, look, Sam finished 21st at the games last year. Michelle Bazinet was the lone representative there, meaning she beat every other African woman who tried to make it, and she was in the mid 30s, including like 3 or 4 women that dropped out. So
and Lee looks like she could be like 2022 Cyndi Lauper. Look at her. I'm looking at Michelle Moran. It's interesting. She's 33 and Lee is 34. And Michelle is 25. So that's sort of indicative of, CrossFit in the States, I don't know, 10 years ago, right? Just the ages. Now the women are so young.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's roll over to Asia, and we'll look at the women first. Mm-hmm. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one.
Do it.
Sung-Young Choi.
Yeah.
Sung-Young
Good
Choi.
job.
Shahad.
Budebs? Shahad
Budebs.
Shahad Budebs.
And Seher Kaya.
Dubai's finest.
Have we seen her? And Sung-Young Choi has been to the games before, right?
Last year.
Okay, so that's probably got that name right. How about any of these other ladies? I know we talked about Seher before. Have any of these other ladies been to the games?
Did Shahad make it as a representative in 2019?
I think so, in 2019. I just know her a lot from Dubai's competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look at number 6. Her name is Uracha Tiranstan. Her last name is like a country, isn't it? Anyway, you guys are gonna have fun as these people start making it to the games. We go over to the men out of Asia. Roman, and I know these guys all because I've heard Brian talk about them quite a bit. Roman Krenikov, Alexander Illand, and Hamza Tarifi. Tell us how is Roman, Angelo? Good headspace.
Hey, Roman's awesome. I mean, he did great in these workouts, and I don't know. I mean, he's pretty cool to have around. It's tough the language barrier is pretty tough, but is
his internet connection better than yours?
No, probably not.
Where is
he can ask for a Wi-Fi password.
Where is he staying? Does he get a VRBO, or is he staying at someone's house or a hotel? Where does he stay?
He's staying with Luke. It's him and Luke, and I guess Sam Cornway are all in a house together right now.
Wow.
They're putting a lot of pressure on that foundation.
And there's no
Yeah.
one. There's no one there that speaks Russian.
Nobody.
So he's just like
Dang, good
not
for
saying
him.
very much.
He's learning a lot. He
That's
actually
good.
has learned a lot of English in the few weeks he's been here.
Well, this is like, I mean, we don't think about it because we live here. This is like total immersion for him. This is
Oh,
the
yeah.
way, this is the way to learn a language.
Just get him
Yeah,
drunk. He'll
he-
speak English fluently in a week.
I mean, he knew the only English he knew were CrossFit terms exclusively. And then,
That's awesome.
so there was a story. He was in a coffee shop asking for bananas. He wanted a smoothie, and he only knows the word banana. And he looked at me and goes, "Banana," and they look at him and they go, "We don't have any. They're out of bananas." He goes, "Banana." And they're just back and forth. They go, "Man, we got no bananas. I'm sorry."
You guys just take a bong rip over there? What's going on?
Yeah.
Cough that shit out. Pat her on the back, Andrea. Pat her on the back. She's the future of the sport. Pat her on the back.
She put my name as that.
Hailstorm.
Oh, turn it off.
Hey, why don't you, did Roman have to get left alone with Haley like Guy did? Like, does he know, like, oh shit, don't be left alone with Haley?
That's
Has-
exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Tell us.
What?
That you almost killed Roman in his first few days.
I heard you're a bully over there, Haley.
We had to, so we took him home one night and we go, "Hey, Luke, explain to Roman that, like, hey, Roman, we get you're fit, man. Like, you don't have to try to prove anything. Like, if Haley's beating up on you, you need a day off. Like, just let us know." Because after his first day training with Haley, he was going home and he put in the translator. He said, "Can I get magnesium, sodium, potassium tablets?" He goes, "Because I'm cramping really bad."
That's awesome.
He's a
Almost killed him.
Andrea, how long have you been there? When did you show up?
Hey.
Hey.
I've been here since the season started,
Oh, you have been.
hanging out in Cookville.
Those are the rules, Sevan.
Oh yeah. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer, Andrea. Great
Well,
answer.
between here and Knoxville, Taylor.
And how's everything going living with Haley? You liking it?
It's horrible.
She likes the cats, and they like.
Yeah,
her,
actually, she has
so-
some great cats. I'm a big animal person.
I thought that that only happened people got beat up by Haley, like if Rich went out of town. Like, wasn't that
Rich
his
was out
story?
of
Like,
town.
he is out
Rich
of
was
town.
He was.
He was out of town.
And so then Haley just steps up and just hands it to people.
Something like that, I guess.
Did you know, Haley, you were doing that to him, that you were giving him the same treatment you gave Guy?
Yeah.
She knows.
Listen, Roman was a real one. He was down. He was a real one.
He does love to train. He loves it.
Mhm.
Explain that. What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's just down. Like, he doesn't care if I'm rich or not. Like, he's like, well, I want to work out with Haley. Like, I'm down to do whatever she does. He's a real one.
And he just goes balls to the wall.
Yeah, he was down.
Andrea, how was your last couple days watching these guys get at it? And you what do you do? Do you make fun of them, or do you chill, or do you do the
No.
workouts, or?
No, all I can think about in my head is like, I gotta do this in 2 weeks, so I can't really. I just watch Haley go, and then I think if I could move half that speed, then our team should be good.
Is it really like that? Are you impressed by her?
Yeah, I mean, I forget what it's like to be so young and just always have energy to go, and then she's obviously really talented. You just stack that on top of each other, and yeah, it's like it's inspiring in a way that I know I'll never be there ever again in my life. So it's fun to watch.
What was your day job again? I forget. I want to get it wrong.
Oh, so I own a gym
That's right.
back home. That's it.
And Taylor is Taylor a nurse, or she's going to school? What's she doing?
She's going to school to be I have a
PA?
brain block. PA, thank you. I was gonna say PT, and that's obviously not right.
Yeah,
PA,
it's basically like she's an assistant to doctors in surgery or something, right?
Well, she's more than so she graduates in December. I'm not really sure where that lands her or like what she'll do after that, but yeah, she works in the field.
She's basically like a surgeon. She's a mini surgeon.
Sure, she took out my stitches once, so she's good. Yeah.
Has she sewed anyone up at Mayhem?
At Mayhem, I don't think so, but the season's young, so
Tell me about the team. Are you happy with the team? What do you think about Samuel Cornway being on the team? Do you even give a fuck? Is it just like
You used his full name. That was weird. So you just call him Sam.
Samuel? When you have a name like Samuel Bjorgvin, I can say it. I run with it. Samuel.
No, I think it's great. I mean, we got to know him last year too because he was here for a lot of the season. So he's not a new face to anyone. It's just Sam's back.
During the first year he was there, did he ever fill in for a team workout, a worm workout when someone was missing?
No, but he's not bad on the worm. So
I saw the video you guys posted today.
bad.
He looked very focused, like, okay, make sure I don't step on her ankle.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot to think about in the beginning. Plus, everyone's a little different, and we're just getting to know each other's grooves. But no, he did really well. Do
you think if you were if Andrea was individual, Haley, you would let her stay with you? I don't believe you.
I know. I think I would. I mean, it would be a little different, but no, she's one of my good friends for sure. It's just like, I mean,
oh, you can't see.
She's kind of someone too that like shuts it off like outside of the gym, So.
No, I don't believe it. Hey, well, let me ask Andrea, if you were competing individual, would you be staying with her?
I mean, yeah, through sanctional, and then I wouldn't make it on. So sure, for a little bit.
See, I'm not buying that from you because
don't believe anything she says.
Yeah,
Andrew, if you were competing individual, I would rank you 5th in whatever semifinal you went to.
Yeah, no, higher than that. Higher than that. She is so fit.
Okay, maybe it depends. 4th or 5th.
She doesn't. Wait, Andrea doesn't win Africa.
That's not what we're talking about. North American semifinals. She would win in Africa.
Oh, so any semifinals that she could that she's actually capable of going.
If she was in the North American women, I think she's one of the 20 fittest North American women. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll never know because I'm never doing that.
Haley, how's your ankle doing?
Oh, it's fine. It's like it just flares up. I mean, those movements are not great for it, but yeah, it's okay.
Is that just gonna be something you're gonna have to manage moving forward? Like, what's the healing process on that after you retire?
I rolled it again a few weeks ago. Just because that ligament's not there, so it's like easy to roll it, but yeah, it's just gonna be management unless I want to get it fixed, which you don't have to get it fixed. So
what ligament is not there?
My ATFL.
Caleb, can we see what an ATFL is? ATFL.
No. It's only like on your ankle somewhere in there.
When did that happen? That happened prior to the games a couple years ago?
Yeah, the first time I rolled it in 2020.
Please don't pull up that picture. Whoever's doing the back end stuff. I will jump off this podcast immediately if you show that photo.
What is their ankle all cockeyed? Like all
it goes 90 degrees. Like
and the worst part was like I was running down a hill, so it was even worse.
And that was in training prior to the games?
Well, it was at this like trail run that I didn't even want to do, but yeah.
It's coming back to me. Angelo, are you there for any of this stuff? For watching Haley do her quarterfinals?
Yeah, I was there for the first 2 days, and then yesterday I was at work, and then I think I don't know. Did you do the last workout today? I just
I
missed it
this morning.
Yeah, I was there for the first half of it at least. I watched everyone go.
Anything you want to tell us? Remember, your job here is to say at Mayhem I saw. You've already given us one great story. Hi, Andrea. I'm Nate Lyons. How are you? Do you know this guy, Nate Lyons?
No. What
now?
Creep.
I like him. Hi, Andrea.
No, I don't have anything crazy to report. I think everyone did really well. It was awesome watching them, and I think I was the same way. I wish I would have. I mean, part of me wanted to be doing them, but the other part of me kind of just got me fired up for a couple weeks. So I'm excited for the team quarters.
Oh yeah, because we go against you. So we're
yeah. Is it gonna get competitive in there? Is it gonna get nasty between the teams?
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you guys do the workouts at the same time?
Let's go.
I don't know. I haven't even thought about it.
Sevan looks like if Paul Bunyan produced estrogen.
That's funny.
No, Haley, that's not funny. That's
not wrong.
Okay. Haley, what was your bench? Now that we're just getting at it.
I stopped at 192. I got
Dang.
Wait, how much did you bench?
192.
Holy crap.
She's been working on her strength a lot. I can say, like, I see a lot of the background things that go on, and she's dedicated a lot to strength.
I want to ask you about the strength test, Haley, because obviously people can look at your score and say, "Oh, wow, she still doesn't have her strength. It's way down here relative to all her other scores." But I think in this particular test, like, did you really, did you have a lot of misses, or did you just say like, "No, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move on"?
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty happy with that, and just moved on.
Because I think that was, especially for someone that you're going to score really well on the other 4, it's like you can feel good about the lifts without maxing out necessarily or having really stressful misses.
Right. I mean, last year I was like 500 something, so I was like 170th this year. So I'll take it.
Caleb, I'd love to see that video of her benching 192. That's crazy. What was your bench right before that? Before you jumped up to that? Do you
I
remember?
think I went to 180. It was a weird number, either 185 or like 184 or something. I don't know.
And Caleb, also this, I'd love to see the blonde in the Muppets band too. Haley reminds me of the blonde in the Muppets band. I'd like to see.
Not a good compliment.
Which Muppet is a good compliment, Haley?
I want to see this. Is this
I'll
me?
pull it up for you.
You're good. You're a good dude, Andrea.
That's kind of sad.
What do you mean she's hot? What do you mean she's hot? It's the eyelashes.
Oh, no.
I'm leaving.
Leave Andrea. Don't take Andrea if you're leaving.
That's mean.
Oh,
Okay, one more. Who is this? Who's Angelo should quit CrossFit and just tell people he's Jimmy Garoppolo. Who's that?
oh wow, yeah.
Quarterback, where's he at? Is he still with 49ers?
Yeah, 49ers for now, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a Muppet? Which
Nah, he's a
Muppet
pretty
is
good looking guy.
I want to see which Muppet Angelo is.
Yeah, you
Marley
pull up
and
Jimmy
Marley.
Garoppolo. That's not too bad.
See? He's a good
Oh
looking guy.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's
He's
not
good
that's not
looking.
nice at all. Haley's so pretty, and then Angelo gets to be the super handsome guy, and Haley has to be a fucking Muppet.
It's opposite day.
Oh.
Sad.
Is there any relief, Haley? Now, like, is there like this big math? Is it last like so you had the open, and then let me ask you that: do you get any relief after the open, or is it just right away? It's just like, oh my god, the quarterfinals are right there.
Anytime I can get an online event over with, I'm so happy. I hate online events. I never do well in them, and I just prefer in person.
And then the quarterfinals happen. So how do you feel? When did you do your last workout? Was it today?
Quarterfinals? Today, yeah.
And is there a noticeable like shoulders down and yeah.
Show me your stuff.
I'm like I can just focus on semifinal training now, and yeah.
Andrea, will you push her off to the side? Just put your hand on her head and push her off to the side and tell us what you're whispering in her ear. Just shove her aside and tell us.
Oh, I said so she doesn't do bad in online events. She got third in the open, so okay, shut up. And then also that's her little like snack stash for being done with the open. We've had a party. Oops.
I don't even want to ask what's in there. I'm not going to promote any of that bullshit. Hey,
One day thing.
Hey, I have organic snacks.
you have organic licorice in there, or Twizzlers, organic Twizzlers. So there's these people who are these superstars, right? Like I'll use you and Laura Horvat, and there's this thing that just comes out of just people's mouth, like just on autopilot. Well, if handstand push-ups show up, well, if something heavy shows up, well, and I'm sure there's someone, it's like that for the run. Where do you process that? How do you process that? Do you process that?
I mean, it is what it is. I think people confuse a heavy barbells and like I'm bad at everything heavy when it's really just like 1 rep max lifts. I can actually move weight. I just am not good at top end strength. So automatically people are like, oh, she's big, she can't do this, that. But it is what it is. I don't really care anymore.
Can you give me an example of that? So like you would do 10 deadlifts versus your 1 rep, 10 unbroken deadlifts versus your 1 rep max.
Well, we could give her an example from this past weekend. She said she was 170th on the lifting event, but on the cycling 135 barbell snatch, 15th.
Okay. What is around your deadlift max? Do you know?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I hit 330 in 2020, so maybe like 350, 360 now.
And then what would be 10 that you could do on a really good day? What could you do 10 unbroken deadlifts, you think? Go big, talk shit. Pretend like Andrea's go big.
Maybe 300?
Yeah.
The hardest part for me is getting off the floor once, so
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's my problem too. Just getting off the floor once. Once I can get it start bouncing.
Yeah.
Is there obviously the preferred semifinals for you guys would be just right down the street? And is that almost a guarantee since there's 2 there?
I hope so. Yeah, Knoxville. It was like so convenient last year. It was only a 90-minute drive. So nice.
It'll actually be, I'm not sure of the rules this year, but last year, because of the pandemic situation, they said if you live in the state that's hosting it, you have to go there. And then they use that as a criteria, but I don't know if that will be the case this year or not.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I get to go to one of those, but I don't know. Never know.
This is for all 3 of you guys over there at the Mayhem Empire. Anyone have issues putting in their scores that you know of? Have you had anyone miss the deadline? Anything weird happen because we're hearing a bunch of that stuff pop up, which I think is just normal when you have thousands of people trying to submit online scores and upload video. Have anyone at Mayhem had any issues where they're like, oh shit?
Well, it's usually like first thing I do when I finish. Like upload my video and then start submitting the score because I'm scared that like the website's gonna crash or something.
I think you gotta know
anyone had
how
scored?
this works by now and like give it time. You can't do the workout at the last minute and expect your score to be uploaded and the videos
Yeah.
in.
Has anyone had a score adjustment? I don't think anyone has, right?
What? Oh, from Mayhem.
Yeah.
No, impeccable movement quality there.
Yeah. I didn't.
I think everyone. You didn't?
I haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did.
No, I think a few people did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyone with the initials RF?
Probably
Oh,
Dre.
no. He didn't do it.
it.
That's right.
Probably right.
Dude, Ben, I know he's competing on a team this year, but he finished almost the exact same spot as last year, just like 12 to 15 spots out.
So I mean, I don't know if it's public there that they had a bet going on between the 2 of them, Ben and Dre.
Oh, they did not?
Oh, you're
So
pulling your weight today, Angelo. This is number 3, and we're not even 1 hour into the show. You're fucking kicking ass. Angelo from the Mayhem Empire reports. Go on, Angelo.
So Ben Davidson is one of the camera guys. Dre is obviously one on the team with Rich, and he was a camera guy. Now he just does apparel. Ben was trying to steal, which he did. Tried to win the fittest cameraman award from Dre, which he beat him 3 out of the 5 events. Came down the last event, and he beat Dre by 12 seconds. So now Dre is going to get "I Love Ben" tattooed on his ass cheek.
What?
That's the bet.
Like legit tattoo?
Yeah, well, Dre has a tattoo gun that he bought a few years ago. He tattooed a smiley face on Ben.
This bet
And-
gets worse and worse by the second.
Dude, this is horrible. I thought you guys
it's
were good
terrible.
Christian folk over there. What is going on? You're defiling God's body.
I'm doing like backdoor tattoos
Yeah.
at the back of the barn.
There is, yeah.
Hey,
So-
let me tell you something. If someone gave me a tattoo gun and told me that I was going to tattoo something on their ass, it wouldn't be that they love me. I'd draw an arrow to the closest opening and write something creative. My goodness.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
devastated. I am devastated. And when Rich gets back from whatever charity he's working out, he's going to put an end to these shenanigans. He's not going to let any butt tattoos happen at the Mayhem Empire.
It's actually been pretty fun to follow those guys. I mean, they went. Ben won the first 2, and then Dre won the second 2, and then they went back and forth for the last workout. It was pretty cool. And we have a group chat going, and they're talking a lot of crap. It's awesome.
Have you guys lost any bets, Andrea or Haley, where you had to get a tattoo? We won't tell anyone.
We're good Christian women here.
You know why they didn't lose those bets, Sevan? They didn't make them.
right.
We are the
And-
starter species, so yeah, we don't do that.
Yes.
And they don't lose. Haley, how old are you?
21.
And how many years you been at this game, the CrossFit game?
This will be my 7th CrossFit game season.
Fucking nuts. So that would put you at 14.
I competed my first games when I was 15.
Yeah, crazy. Do you have any? Are you familiar with Olivia Kerstetter, the 16-year-old
what?
girl? Are you familiar with Olivia Kerstetter, the 16-year-old girl training with Jacob Hepner down there, or in the middle there?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know her. I don't
What
know her
did-
well, but like I've heard of her. She's super strong.
Yeah, crazy strong.
Mhm.
Any advice you would give to the 16-year-old Haley Adams
Oh, jeez.
that Olivia could benefit from?
I got a book.
Hey, that's a great idea.
One day. Honestly, just don't compare yourself. That's like literally the thief of joy, and yeah, that's the biggest one, I think.
Okay, how are you supposed to not compare yourself when the whole thing is that you're supposed to be winning?
I know, but like,
Yeah, you
it
know.
really
Tell
can
me.
like take away from your happiness, and you'll never be satisfied in like what you do. If that makes sense.
It does, but on the other hand, isn't that what you're supposed to be using to fuel yourself? Look, we're writing the first chapter in your book.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different in that way, I think. I mean, obviously, training, you're working to be your hardest. And if that's your best, then you can't really worry about what everyone else is doing. So you can't compare yourself to what they're doing. I mean, I don't know. That's just how I feel. But I've learned that it definitely helps. But
Are you good at it?
am I good at what?
Are you good at not comparing yourself? Are you good at like with your own advice?
I've gotten a lot better as I've gotten older.
Did someone teach you that or you learned it?
I learned it the hard way.
Is that the only way?
Just depends on who it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Andrea? Is that why you do teams so you don't have to deal with that shit? You just blame someone on your team?
I mean, I think when she says compare yourself, it means more than just like working out. It's like everything's like a lifestyle thing now. You like everyone puts their whole life on social media. For women especially, I think that's really tough because you're comparing yourself not only like how you perform, but then also like who you are as a person. Like you get judged by that too.
Yeah.
Just because everything gets shared. So
You mean like how your clothes fit you, who you train with, who your sponsors are, who got invited to go to Europe, just all that, the whole fucking package.
Yeah, and then there's just a lot of like growing up with like women are impressionable when they're younger. So like there's a lot that just goes on mentally. I just like to stay off social media a lot. Like I don't go on it just because I mean I'm 32 and I still struggle with comparing myself to people. So I don't know.
It doesn't go away.
It does. It does.
Oh.
Like if you know how to handle it, it just takes. I think you just have to learn. A lot of people.
You think I can take the lifters out of my shoe and accept the fact that I'm only 5'2"? No, I'm joking.
That's terrible. Yeah.
It's a good start.
I really am 5'5". Don't anyone ever fucking repeat that.
I think I'm taller.
So is my wife.
I'm 5'7".
Yeah. Hi, Haley. So if we ever when I see you, I'll be looking up to you. I'll be looking up your nostrils. I'm actually an expert looking up nostrils.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I really like the way you said that, Andrea. It really is. It's a comparison of the whole lifestyle. I didn't even think of that. It's like it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's a lot of pressure. I think, especially on these younger women entering the sport.
Yeah.
Hey, and the people at the top aren't even. They're not even happier than. It's like it's never ending. You know what I mean? You think you're gonna. I had this guy on the other day, Eli Weeby, and he used to roll with Dan Blazarian and Justin Bieber and just all those guys, and he's just saying there's no happiness. There's no, just same fucking goofballs as everyone else.
Yeah.
Depressed messes. Yeah.
They need to go play some more disc golf.
I want to tell all the men who heard me just say that, call someone a depressed mess. Don't ever call your wife that. That doesn't end good. Okay. Yeah, disc golf. Yes, disc golf. That's how Brian gets peace of mind. Yo, Andrea, you're one of my absolute favorite athletes. Christina B.
So nice.
Thank you. That's lovely. You made my day.
You guys, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know I didn't give you guys much notice. Thanks. You get bonus points, Hailstorm, for dragging the great Andrea Nisler on.
I'll be bringing that name onto the broadcast in semifinals.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, boys. I gotta go do kid bath bedtime.
Peace and love. Peace
Been
and
real.
love.
Good to see you guys.
Turn that printer off behind you. Save energy. We're in a shortage in this country.
Not in Texas.
Oh, okay.
That's not how it works. All right. See you guys.
See you, Chase.
See ya.
Oh, they're cool as shit. Andrea, Nisler, and Haley. Wow. Yeah, I really like Haley's voice. I hate hearing her talk directly after me. So if I ever ask her a question, you guys are on, you guys talk and then let her talk because her voice is so nice. It makes me sound like a record scratching. Pull a Tanya Harding on the strongest woman. I mean, obviously, yes. Corey's been drinking. Okay. In this one, in going back to Africa or Asia, sorry, the men, number 4 is Dennis Samsonoff.
Yeah.
And I just find that cool because he's the fittest wizard and he has a just really cool Instagram account. So I just wanted to give him a mention. Do you know him, Brian?
I know who he is. I haven't had a lot of interaction with him.
Do you know him, Angelo?
No, I don't know him.
Haley looks like a fit Kate Hudson. Is she single? It's weird that dudes want to know if girls are single, right? No, it's not weird. If you think it's weird, you're fucking weird. Okay. Men want to know if they're talking to men or women, and then they want to know if the women are single. That's a man. That's one of the definitive qualities of a man. Okay, let's move on to
Europe, right?
Yes, sir. Europe for the men: Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundsson, Willie George,
KG.
and Lazar Jukic, and we'll give fourth to Janikowski.
By the way, it's like this is a great example of you see Lazar Jukic placed 273rd in the world in the Open, was not concerned about it at all. And here we go in the quarterfinals, and he's 3rd in Europe, which is obviously a very impressive result. So that's a great example of a guy who is not like actually saying that he's not taking the Open seriously, and probably just basically walking through those workouts, getting them done, checking a box, and this is a very different Lazar Jukic we see here with these results.
It would be interesting to see who is the lowest, or who is the lowest ranking Open participant. To make it to the games this year. I'd be curious
to the
see
games once that happens. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Probably Rafikowski, right? If he makes the games, don't you?
Let's talk about that.
Well, back pretty close.
Let's talk about that while we're here for a minute. Sarah, thank you so much. Sarah Cox, you're the best. Always. You're always the best. Did I thank Rob Miller? Oh yeah, I read his question. Where is Luca?
He's doing great.
He is.
Yeah, he fought all the way back up to 26th, which is 60 make it. So he's even inside the top half despite that penalty.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
Which is good. I mean, if that, and it's fine. So yeah, he's in a good spot.
Okay, let's go over to the women of Europe. First place, we have Gabriela Magawa. Second place, Emma McQuaid. Third place, Jacqueline Dahlstrom. Fourth place, Ragnahidur Sada, Sigmund's daughter. Look at Sarah's. Wow, Sarah, fourth place.
And 13th in the lifting.
Is that good or is that bad?
That's great, considering what the last year has been for her. The worst workout is the running with all the cutting, and that makes a lot of sense too.
But of all the things, if she was going to maintain, wouldn't it be her strength?
Yeah, but there's still a confidence.
Having a Wadapalooza.
She might still be strong, but yeah, she had a scare at Wadapalooza 2 months ago.
So you're saying her head might not be in the right place?
It seems like it now, right?
Is Olivia? No, Sarah is not my wife. Welcome to the show. This is the first time you've been on the show.
Yep.
You've made a huge fan out of me. You're killing it. And I apologize now that I'm staring you in the face for how many times I've called you Olivia Hepner. You are now that you're a real person to me, you're Olivia Kerstetter. Are you pumped? Are you on cloud 9? Is there a bit of reprieve? You did the quarterfinals, you kicked butt?
Yeah, I'm shocked with how it turned out. But happy.
Are you shocked with the where you ended up on the leaderboard, or were there any individual workouts that you surprised yourself on?
A couple of the workouts, but mostly just overall.
Which were the workouts that were like most surprising
Brian,
performances?
you believe her? She's shocked. I don't believe her. I don't. She's not shocked. She knows.
Well, she might know that she has the potential to do it, but doing it is a different thing.
Right. By the way,
Yeah.
Olivia, that's Angelo. I don't know if you've met Angelo DiCicco before, and I don't know if you've met Brian Friend. And I'm Sevan. Awesome to have you on the show. I hope I have you on the show for the next 10 years as a regular. You're so awesome. Okay,
Thanks.
sorry. Go ahead.
I
Nice
Nick.
to meet
like
you guys.
having you on the show too because Sevan's on very good manners right now.
I'm in my best behavior. Yes. You do. You bring the best out of me. You bring the me out of me, Olivia, that my mom wants to see. Okay, sorry. So the question was, Brian was asking is, you were saying you were shocked, or maybe shocked wasn't the word. I forget what word you used, but you're happily surprised and pleased with your performance.
Yeah.
And do you say that because you saw the workouts and you saw, there's some challenges, or is it more like what Brian was alluding to, that like, hey, showtime is, you never know until it's showtime?
I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it. Some of the workouts had some things like that I would consider weaknesses, so I was just surprised by how they turned out.
It's interesting. You're 16 years old.
Yes.
And when is your birthday?
December.
Okay. Wow. So you're freshly minted 16. It's interesting to hear you say that, to even know about weaknesses already. But I guess you kind of have to. You're in the game to just push all of these numbers up. How did you do? Is Jacob your coach? Like, that is your coach? It's just you and him?
No, I have a different coach. He's just my training partner.
He's just the punching bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
You just beat up on him every day.
Yeah.
Who's the coach? Who's the coach?
Jill Glassnap. She owns the gym that I go to.
And do her and Jacob fight over you?
No. She coaches him too, so
so she cracks the whip on him too.
yeah.
So tell me your mindset going into, you're 16 years old, and is the goal to go, can you even go to the games as an individual?
Yeah, I think so.
She can. She at some point this year, earlier in the season this year, you have to make that decision than you did last year, though.
Yeah, I think you have to make the decision before semis. So I can do the quarterfinals for both, but I have to make the decision now.
Have you made the decision yet?
No. I was gonna see like where I was at after quarterfinals, and like now that I did better than I expected, I feel like it makes that harder.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why would you want to go individual as opposed to going individual as a team? Why would you want to do that?
I guess just like
Yeah.
for the name of it, like I'd be the youngest one there.
So to do something that no one else has done, that no one else is doing. Boy, that's scary.
Yeah.
And you can make some money if you make the games as an individual this year, even if you take last place.
True.
Do you have a job? Like a day, like do you babysit or like work at Starbucks or milk cows? What do you guys do
No.
out there in the middle of
I
the
hope
country?
not.
No, I don't have a job.
At this rate, I don't think she'll have a job for a long time.
How's your health? I can't believe I'm asking a 16-year-old that. How's your health?
It's good.
Have you quit smoking yet? Do you still smoke cigarettes?
No, I haven't had any like major injuries or anything, so I'm doing good.
Yeah. You're not even done growing. You're a 16-year-old human. You're like, it's nuts. Well, when did you know you were strong?
I don't know. I've always been like, the people at my gym say I am like big, like boned, and I've just always been bigger, so I've just used it for strength.
But there had to have been a time where you like arm wrestling boys in the 5th grade, or like one time beat your dad up, or you slapped your dad because he talked back to you. Like, how did you know you were strong?
I don't know. I just good genes, and I beat my sisters up sometimes, maybe, or Jacob.
You did the quarterfinals this year. What impressed you the most about yourself? Like, what did you do that you were like, okay, what brought you the most happiness in what you saw of yourself? Because I'm guessing that like all the other athletes, you surprised yourself, or you set some PRs because of the pressure around the competition.
Yeah, I think just like my overall standing, like I wasn't expecting to get top 10 at all, and so that was just the most surprising.
A lot of people know that know about your lifting because you've been having such success this year. Did you have any no reps with any of the handstand push-ups or ring muscle ups in this tests this weekend?
Not on the handstand push-up one, but I failed like a couple of ring muscle ups, but that was it, just at the end.
Just right towards the end, yeah. I think that was, a lot of people probably had a similar experience with that. But it's good, I think it's good for people to see and to hear that, like, you're lifting all these weights, but you can still move your body through space very well also.
Yeah.
What sports did you play? Do you play any sports right now besides CrossFit? Are you doing anything?
No, not right now. I used to do like everything. I did basketball, softball, volleyball.
And how old were you when you started that?
Probably like 5 or 6, or just started playing sports, but I quit most of them. They were just like temporary things until I found CrossFit.
When did you get your first muscle up? And can you
I
tell
think
me
I
that
was, like,
story?
it was during like a Wadapalooza qualifier workout, I think, and I was like 11 or 12.
Because the Wadapalooza age divisions go down to 13 years old, right? They're like 13 to 15 instead of 14 to 15.
I think
So
it's
Yeah.
12. I think it can be 12.
Really? Well, either way, that's like a high level competition you can do before you can qualify for the games as a teenager.
So, Olivia, do your parents do CrossFit?
Yeah, my whole family does.
Okay, so you got to tell me the story. You got to tell me the longest story you've ever told. Make this a 5-minute story. I want you to talk to me for 5 minutes straight because I'm doing a shitty job at asking questions. I want you to tell me the story of how you got into CrossFit and the first time you tried to muscle up and whose harebrained idea it was to sign an 11-year-old girl up for Wadapalooza. Can you make that all into one story for me?
I'll try. So my dad started it originally. He just went to a gym by our house, and my sister used to do gymnastics. So like my whole family would just kind of go there, and then me and my sister would like mess around on the bars or whatever. And we just basically messed around until we were old enough to do like the kids class or whatever. So then we did the kids class and fundamentals, and we learned everything. And my sister actually qualified for the games. So she
3
went
times,
to the
right?
games. Yeah, she went to the games 3 times. So I just always trained with her.
Did she qualify there, as a teen?
Yeah.
Wow, shit. Okay, this is cool. Oops, darn it. Did I just swear on accident? Okay, go on. Pretend like I didn't. Don't let your dad watch this interview. Parents will hate me. Go on.
But yeah, so she qualified for the games, and then I just trained with her throughout her whole games career, and then we started training with Jacob, and then I started being able to compete. She like aged out of teenage and went to college and doesn't like compete anymore, but then I was old enough, so then now I compete.
And when you say, are you going to age out and stop? Like, do you have plans to be like, okay, I'm just doing this for 2 more years. I'm going away to college. Bye.
No, I would like to do it for a long time and actually compete in the elite division.
You're in it to win it. You'd like to.
Yeah.
But you're doing it. So then you start, by the way, some textbook stuff here, by the way. Her dad did it and drug her along to the gym. So she was fooling around and it turned into something. I mean, it's just like, this is why people need to raise their kids. Just drag your kids everywhere you go. And I'm assuming you're a good kid. That's why your dad could take
depending on where you go.
Right. I'm assuming you're a good kid, and that's why your parents could drag you to the gym, right? You weren't bad.
Yeah,
Are you well? Are you
probably.
well behaved? Are you well behaved daughter?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And so, do you remember trying your very first muscle up and how old you were? Or you can't even remember because you were just always swinging on the rings and trying to get up.
All I remember is it was during a Wadapalooza qualifier, and I was just doing the workout, and whatever you get to them, and you have to just like keep attempting until you get one, and I think I just eventually got one.
How many attempts do you think you made?
I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5.
Oh, that's not bad. So not like you weren't like on 57 and then it happened.
Yeah, I think the hardest part for me was like I could get into the dip, but I wasn't like strong enough to like dip out of it, like do the ring dip.
Yeah. Wow. When's the last time you cried in a workout?
It's been a while.
But it has
Probably.
happened.
Yeah.
Tell me about
Definitely.
that. What elicits that? What causes? I'm assuming it's not because you dropped weight on yourself, but because there was something emotional about it.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes just have a mental breakdown in the middle of a workout. I haven't done it for like a long time, but Jacob used to make us do like vineyard sprints, like if we were being like talking back or whatever. So it was probably during those.
What's a vineyard sprint?
Like on his old property, he had vineyards, like the grapes, and he would make us like run to the end of the vineyard and back in a certain amount of time or something.
Wow, that sounds like me growing up at Rich's house.
She's a
Probably.
preparation for shuttle sprints.
Yeah.
Olivia, some people, fuck, maybe it's all people, most people, a lot of people don't realize.
Sevan, language.
Sorry, excuse me, sorry, Mrs. Kerstetter, Mr. Kerstetter. I seriously, I'm sorry. I was trying my best. A lot of people don't realize. I think they die without realizing that hardship is really what makes life rich. And it sounds so cliche, but if you've never worked out and started crying, then you're really missing out on life. And I think a healthy person might not realize that until their 30s or 40s, right? And it's not just working out. It's like your car breaks down and you cry, or someone in your family dies, or whatever the gambit of like, painful things that happen. At 16, are you already looking back at those? And in your head, do you think, Jacob, have you matured to the point where you're like, I see the value of hardship? And like, you're like, wow, you think, maybe you're eating or you're showering. You're like, man, that's so cool that Jacob pushed us to crying and I have that under my belt. Like, do you see these hardships stacking? Or as I'm telling you this, you're like, shut up, dude. I want to go back and work out. Is the interview over?
I haven't really thought about it, but
all right.
I definitely think that like if you haven't gone hard enough to like cry or like really hurt in a workout, then you probably aren't going hard enough.
My 6-year-old one, he was doing jiu-jitsu against some kid, and the kid was crying, and he walked off the mat and he goes, do you know why kids cry when they do jiu-jitsu? And I said, why? He goes, because that means they're trying their hardest. It's like,
yep.
Noted. Yeah, crazy. Any concerns from your family? You are, I mean, I know it's just you, so you probably don't know this, but you are truly doing something like remarkable. You really are pushing the outer limits of human capacity, and it's a trip that those of us in the CrossFit community get to see this. It deserves worldwide attention. We should all be celebrating it because you're a human doing these remarkable things. But did your parents have any, it's got to put a lot of stress on them to see their 16-year-old daughter, push these outer limits. I mean, they're proud of you, of course, but do you see their stress?
Yeah, I definitely think they probably stress about like how I do in workouts and stuff, but I think it's more stressful for me.
Of course. All right. My last question is this. You hear people say, like, when I was 7 years old, I knew I wanted to be a professional baseball player. Or I had visions of it. Do you already see yourself as a CrossFit Games champion? Are you having those delusions of grandeur that you're determined to pull out of the delusion category and make a reality?
Yeah, I think that once I started competing, like that's what I wanted, and that's like the end goal. So, yeah.
You are going to be a CrossFit Games champion. I told Brian yesterday. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. There's no rush. Actually, I can't wait. My wife says, don't rush anyone. Just enjoy watching them grow. Is there anything you'd like to ask Angelo? He was a young prodigy star, and he burnt out and crashed, and now he's stuck on teams. Is there anything you'd like to ask him? Or feel free to DM him if you have any questions about what not to do.
You don't have to ask me anything. You don't have to ask anything. I have a question. I have a question for you. Well, I'll let Brian go.
I was just going to make fun of Sevan.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, make fun of me. Go ahead.
That's not really making fun of you. It's just I'm pretty sure that most of the wise things you say come from conversations with your wife.
Yes, all of them. Oh, wait, and let's make fun of me one more time. What were your lifts? What was your bench?
201.
Yep. Okay, I have bench 201. I don't know if I can do it right now. I benched 195 a couple days ago.
Are you gonna attempt these weights? You're gonna go attempt these weights to see like if you can keep all these girls or no?
Dude, if I can do, I'm just gonna try her bench. Can you? This fucking 16. Oh, oops. This 16-year-old girl bench 201. She's such a nice girl. She's such a little girl. Okay, what else? I know it is 50 burpees for swearing. I will. So
somebody else asked this in the comments, and I wanted to ask you this. So is it true? I've heard this rumor. Is this true that the only reason Jacob beat Josh in the boxing match is because he lost to you so many times, and
Probably. I'll take credit for his win.
Were you scared for Jacob?
To be honest, yes, but I was surprised.
Yeah, I was scared for both of them.
You were surprised? Were you proud of him also?
Yeah, I saw him he would come into the gym and just punch the bag for like a whole hour while we were working out. So I definitely think he earned it.
Okay, and what were your other two lifts? What were your bench was 201. What were the other two lifts?
My clean was 251.
Never did that. I've never done that.
And overhead squat was 261.
Oh my God.
Hey, this is a serious question. You guys are gonna fucking make fun of me so bad for this. How do you get 261 over your head? You jerk that up?
Yeah.
I would snap in half. Oh my goodness. Olivia, you're the greatest. Thank you for coming on past your bedtime. I know you're only 16. Oh, yeah. Let's watch this. This is crazy. Oh, my goodness. And that's Jill back there on the side?
No, that's Taylor, my training partner.
Oh, my goodness.
That looks so good, too.
Oh, Taylor's very, very cool because she must see you and be like, oh, my goodness, if I could only be 16 again. Okay. Thank you very much for coming on. Thanks for responding to our email, and can't wait to see you in semifinals, and we'll try to drag you back onto the show again if you'll have us.
Okay. Thank you.
Great
Bye.
job,
Good night.
Olivia.
Say hi to Jacob. Punch Jacob in the face for me.
Okay, I will. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Oh, my goodness. So giddy. I'm so giddy. I can't believe we had her on. Someone's gonna have to lower his dose of estrogen. Oh my goodness. I do owe a lot of burpees, man. I just swear words were just about to start pouring out of my mouth. That was a long time to not swear.
This is a great show tonight.
I'd like to meet her parents. They must be stressed to the max. Okay, let's finish this, and then we got some people to talk about. I want to talk about Bethany Shadburn. I want to talk about if we have time. I want to talk about Annika Greer, Zach George, Annan Manganese, Anam Manganese. Is that right?
Magnon.
I want if we can Ellie Turner. Do we still not know who got the highest weights? Does anyone have that information?
The individual, the highest clean individually, the highest bench individually. Don't know.
Okay. Do you know, Angelo?
I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever.
I don't know how. If CrossFit doesn't release that information, I don't know that we'll ever know.
I mean,
sucks.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So they might, because probably what I would assume is that they'll at least announce the winners of every workout, and then usually they publicize those videos. But it's not a guarantee that the winners of those workouts had any of the heaviest lifts in any of the lifts individually.
It'll be close. Like, it'll be cool to see, but yeah, it won't mean that. But I got to see Guy clean 407 pounds. I'm not sure. I think someone cleaned more than that. I'm sure there may be a couple people that clean more than that. But it was cool. I had never seen someone clean over 400 pounds in person. It was awesome.
Crazy.
It was crazy. And he could have done way more.
He could have?
He could have done 425, I think. I mean, it's so crazy. I've never seen weight look heavy for him, ever.
Other people I'd like to hear what's going on with them is Quant, Katrin. I'd like to talk about Hopper, Self, and Mertens.
Shouldn't we get through the other thing we were doing first?
Yes. Who did I see? Who did Tommy and Sean have on today? They had Alexis Raptis, and is that who they had on?
I don't know.
You didn't watch that? I watched it before.
I was preparing for this.
Oh, they had Scott Panchik on. Whoever they had on. Oh, yes. I highly recommend watching Alexis Raptis interview on that podcast. The second half of it was great. She talks about what it's like to work out with Sarah Sigmund's daughter. And I thought it was really sweet. And I thought there was some deep insight there into why it's important for younger athletes to train with veterans. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let's go through this. Were we done? No, we didn't talk about Europe men, did we?
Yeah, we did Europe men, and when we were talking about Europe women.
Yeah, we started talking about women.
Okay, let me ask you this about Emma McQuaid. Is her star rising?
Well, I mean, definitely, because the breakthrough win at Wodapalooza put her on the map of a casual CrossFit fan. Even if she takes second place there, it won't have the same effect as winning a competition like that does. So people who are very in tune with what's going on in Europe, they've been watching Emma since probably 2017-18, thinking she had this potential, and now she's starting to realize it. And she is a favorite in whatever semifinal she goes to. She'll probably be one of the three favorites to advance to the games from there. And she has, I think, top 15 potential at the games once again this year, possibly pushing into the back end of the top 10.
Okay. So okay. I thought maybe that when I said, and what's the best she's ever finished at the games?
This past season.
And is that her first time at the games?
No, she was there 3 consecutive years, 20th, 19th, 12th.
Okay. So she is, if this last one was her highest, and then she won Wodapalooza, right?
Well, but keep in mind what those other 2 years were, 20, 21, 22. So this is like last year was the first one, that 19th, and her second year was online, and it was only 7 events. The first year was the cut, so she was cut after 5 or 6 events. So last year was the first time that she had a chance to do the full number of events that we're used to at the games, and she finishes 12th. So we don't necessarily know if she might have been right up there in the top 15 already 3 years ago, but because of the nature of the test those years, she didn't have the same opportunity to show everything she could do.
Okay. Quick question about Laura Horvat. I'd be curious what you think about this too, this analysis of her Angelo.
Yes.
That she really is 9th out of this bunch. That out of when you do 5 workouts and they're online workouts, she really is 9th. But what we see with Laura Horvat, and maybe it's the same with Patrick Vellner, is this athlete who has just tremendous endurance and recovery, better than most people. And she's earned that because of all the running she does in her training. But that this actually is indicative of how she would do with 5 workouts. And that it's not because she couldn't beat Gabrielle Magawa even if she wanted to in these 5 workouts.
Yeah, she could have. If one of the 5 workouts just by chance didn't have deficit and then strict handstand pushups in it, you see she took 90th in that workout relative to her other 4 scores, which added to less than half of that combined, or maybe half of that combined, 33, 44, 46. So basically exactly half of that. And you look at the scores up at the top of the leaderboard. So it's no guarantee that in a 5 workout test that handstand pushups are going to come up at all. It could have been a handstand walking workout, and then she'd probably be in either first or second on this leaderboard.
Okay. Well, strike that down what I said.
No, that's the exact reason why. And it's totally fine. If there's a 5 workout test and one of them's handstand push-ups, she should definitely be penalized for the fact that she's not as good as those as everyone else. That's completely fine. That's why the semifinals need to be the same, though. Because otherwise it's random which one you're sorted into, and those 5 or 6 or 7 tests that are there are not necessarily all going to include the same things, and therefore we're getting people at the games with different skill sets on that year.
This so basically, in other words, what you're saying is Laura beat her in 3 of the workouts. So if it was just the
and she
two
beat
of them,
everyone on 2 of those workouts, first to close out the weekend. And I don't know if there's very many people other than Tia that won 2 workouts in their region.
So basically, if it would have just been if Gabby versus Laura and no one else, Laura would have won.
Yes.
Crazy. Whenever I see these bats, I freak out. That means that. Oh yeah, there he is. There, yeah, I see his name, Andrea. Dylan Val, you guys never cease to deliver such an amazing product. Thank you for your dedication and passion in creating this content. Andrew Hiller, you talked about his man. Sevan is terrified of Horvat. Yeah, I am. I would be really interested to see the standings worldwide. He's too scared. All right. Settle down, everyone. Settle down. Settle down, everyone. Okay. Let's move over to. We did Oceania. Let's save Oceania for last. Let's do South America. What a cool thing Andrew Hiller's done. He's got he has his own emoji. This fucking guy, you try not to even look at the comments and you just see bats, and that's people like letting you know that he's here. Like, you know what I mean? The ghost is in the room. Rachel, Kenny. How many bats does he need? He doesn't need 6. You can make his head big. Pull your shirt down. You shouldn't be showing your tummy. You're too young. Okay. We have South American women. Julia Cato, Luisa Marquez, Valentina Rangel, Malena Rodriguez. There's always a Rodriguez. You always read down to the Rodriguez. So you get a Rodriguez.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious about this division this year. I mean, last year I thought there were 3 women that had a chance to make it through. Larissa Cunha, and she did make it through. And then she had, everyone knows the story of what happened with her. Sasha Nieves.
What happened?
Remember, she failed the drug test at the games. She was not able to participate at the games. She went through the appeals process. There's that whole thing.
Okay.
Sasha
so she's
Nieves,
gone. Whoever that is you just mentioned, she's gone for 4 years.
I can't remember. She might have got it reduced to 2. I think she did get it reduced to 2 by proving supplement contamination. Okay. But either way, she's not competing this year because she's suspended. Sasha Nieves, who is the other one who made it through to the games last year, is competing on a team. I can't remember who her teammates are. So she's not in here, which means that there's a wide open here. And the last person that was really everyone thought would make it and was the fittest in South America last year was Melina Rodriguez. And Melina Rodriguez was supposed to compete on Mayhem Libertad, but their team got suspended. So now she's back into the individual pool, finishing 4th here. I probably would still project her in the semifinal to be the favorite for one of those 2 spots, but not necessarily. I think there's like basically the women in the top 10 here are all pretty good, even down to 11th, Amanda Fusuma. And I recognize these names, and they're, potentially could be a lot of competition for the women in South America at semis.
An interesting note here, just to talk about strength. There is nobody in the top. There's only one in the top 50 who broke 700 pounds. Fernanda Dato, 41st place out of Brazil.
I mean, look, there are so many cool comparisons that could be done if the cross-continental or global leaderboard existed for quarterfinals, and it really, really would provide a lot of data for people to, analyze, what's happening on a competitive level with the men and the women in the various continents. CrossFit definitely has access to that and can do it, and it would be really cool if they do have someone working on that in the back end to help them come up with a plan that's going to make the competition as good as possible at every stage of the season. But there's also people that are working on that. Tyler Watkins already has a cross-continent, a global leaderboard that he's created on his own, and it's going to be up pretty soon for people. I just reposted on my story, so if you don't follow his stuff, you can go check it out. And other than that, I don't know if it'll be available anywhere. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stories that can definitely be told in that regard. Because how many people in North America or Europe were able to do over 700? And if there's like 40 of women that could do that in those 2 continents and none from all the rest of the continents, it's kind of interesting to know.
And let me translate that for people who work in media over at CrossFit Inc., the divine leadership over there running the media team. That means we would have fucking more to talk about, more to compare, and more hype.
Breaking news.
Yes.
There's a worldwide leaderboard right now.
Yeah.
Swear. Swear.
Will you send Caleb a link in the private chat? I'm gonna go pee real quick.
He should be able to pull it right up. Honestly, it should be right there.
Oh, it's
Wow,
on.
Gee
It's
took
on
second.
CrossFit's games.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Gee took second overall. Wow.
And then you can, and then we could sort by any column.
Yeah, I like this.
Okay.
Wow, I wonder why they did this, but I'm glad they did.
Well, because everyone wants it.
Yeah, true. I know they didn't. I mean, I think everyone talked about it last year, but I wonder why they kept it a secret and waited until the very last minute to do it. But I like it.
I kind of like it too, actually. And it's very, we talked about earlier how if we pull up all these different continents, you're going to see a lot of names that you recognize. And still, if you look at the worldwide leaderboard here, which we have the women's right in front of us. I mean, these are all. No one would be that surprised if I think every woman basically scrolling down to the top 40 is like got a chance to make the games probably.
Yeah.
But the top 10 are, Tia, Gabby, Cara, Mal, Danielle, Sarah, Amanda Barnhart. The outliers here are Alexis Raptis, Emma Lawson. Athletes that are definitely poised and primed to break through in the sport. Emma McQuaid, right where we expected her. Christy O'Connell, where she always is. Brooke Wells. And this speaks to the quality of the test. Olivia Kerstetter, 19th, by the way. Wait
a second. We didn't do. Is this the worldwide leaderboard?
Yeah, they created one, like literally while we were talking about it.
Yeah. Good. They're listening to us.
Okay.
It looks like if you look at it, if you were to show me this and I had no idea what it was, I would say, hey, is that the CrossFit Games for this year? It's I recognize almost every single name on here. So yeah, I do. I agree. I feel like just based on what I'm seeing, I feel like the test was good.
Hey, before we party over here, let's go back over. Let's just finish up. Can we just finish up really quick?
Yes.
Sorry, I just want to make sure. Let's finish women. No, we did women South America. Let's do men South America.
And then we also need to do Oceania.
Okay, and we'll get through them fast, and then we'll come over to the worldwide leaderboard. Okay, no surprise here. Guillermo Majeros in first place. Augustin
Riquelme, he was at the games last year, and Nicolas Bedarte, who was again supposed to be on that Libertad team for Mayhem. And those three guys are, last year, those were the three guys I thought had the best chance to make it through. Two of them did. You see the points here is a 30-point gap between Nicolas Bedarte and the next guy down. But there's also 30 points between Guy and him. So probably pretty tough to make it if you're not one of those three guys.
Is Guy just on a totally other planet than the rest of the South American competition, men or women?
Yeah, for sure. He's put himself into the category of top 10 in the world. That's
Is there anyone else in any of these divisions that's like him amongst their peers in their divisions?
Roman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Jason Smith.
Hey, you know what's let's go over to Oceania. We'll go to men while we switch over. I want to mention something. It's really interesting. I was thinking about Sam Briggs just now while I was peeing. People have to get worse. Everyone's getting better, but at the same time, to make room at the top, people have to either drop out or their skills have to wane, right?
Oh yeah.
And there's this kind of passing. Okay. In Australia, Ricky Garrard, first place, second place, Jake Crouch, and third place, Bailey Martin. Any surprise here? Is this what we want? Did we know Ricky was going to kick ass?
No, I would say I've been saying I think that Ricky and Jay are the favorites to take 2 of the 3 spots there, and there's going to be a big pileup of guys trying to get into the 3rd spot. An interesting thing to note in this region is that the longtime fittest guy in New Zealand, Luke Fiso, didn't compete. He did sign up, but didn't compete in the quarterfinals. I think he was 5th last year in their quarterfinals, so he was pretty close. And also Con Porter's out. James Newberry, who also did an Ironman this weekend, Olympics-length Ironman, and in addition to doing the quarterfinals workouts, did finish 26th, and so he'll sneak in. And
why? Do we know why James Newberry did that? Why?
He's just a different breed, man. I don't know, but reach out to him, I guess.
Yeah, we haven't had him on the show, so whenever we have callers that have an Australian accent, I just call them James Newberry. Maybe I hope that didn't upset him.
Anyway, It's going to be very competitive, but there are some guys that are missing. Luke de Jong's not competing. Luke Fiso's not competing. Con Porter's not competing. So there's some opportunity here for maybe a new blood to get through in the Oceanic men's division.
Only 3 of these men on this list are going to the games, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, like Royce Dunn's down in 12th, Baden Brown's in 4th. Both of those guys finished in the top half of the games field last year, and only 3 of those 4, including Jay Crouch and Ricky Garrard, can make it out of Oceania. Obviously, there's still last chance qualifier, but there's some young guys that are going to make that difficult for at least 1 or 2 of them.
Is Royce Dunn in Cookeville, Angelo?
No, he's not yet. I'm sure he will. I imagine, like Brian's saying, I think it's going to be very hard for him to make the games. Obviously, I believe in Royce, especially in in-person competition. I mean, I think he proved that at the games this year that he's very good at in-person competition and that he got first at his semifinal last year. But I do think it's going to be difficult for him to make it. Either way, I hope he still comes to Cookeville to train with us for the season. But yeah, I think they have it. I mean, he's pretty much got his work cut out for him. He's got a tough crowd there.
I wonder, what about how old's Rob Forte again?
Probably early 30s. Oh, 35.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked about him last night that he might go to the Masters this year.
I wonder if people like him, man, I feel like Brandon Swan's been around forever too. These guys are trying to go to the games, huh? Would you say Rob Forte is trying to go to the games?
No, I don't think he's trying to go as an individual. I think if he's competing this year, it'll be as a Masters. Last year, he didn't do anything, either team or individually, just coached.
All right. Cool. Well, congratulations to all these guys, man. What a tough division.
But it's
Brian,
like
you think they should open up more people that come from Australia? That's your vote, right?
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. What I think should happen is that the sole criteria for determining spots at the games should not be open registration numbers. Because Oceania is never going to have as many open registration numbers as Europe or North America. Look at the total number of people, and probably Asia and Africa, even if they have those populations, are because of the economic situation. There's just not going to be that many people that want to pay $20 to do that. And you're not talking about the best of the best. You're talking about the thousands or tens of thousands of people that can just throw away those $20 to participate in something that's fun and cool that maybe can't in different parts of the world. And so that's, I think that's a totally ridiculous stat to be the one thing that determines the spots at the games. And I think that some kind of competitive excellence should also factor into it. And that based on the studies that I've done and others are doing right now, it's pretty obvious that the distribution of game spots is not producing the highest quality of average athlete at the games field. And we have actually come up with several different solutions, and we'll continue to provide those different opportunities or ways that we think could be a better way to still be globally inclusive, but also get a higher level of competitive athlete on average at the field at the games, because everyone knows you can watch the first and second heat there and it just doesn't feel the same. I think there are maybe 5 men or 5 women that don't make it every year because of the circumstances that are currently a qualifying process that could elevate the overall level of competition.
Give me an example of just one other criteria besides open.
Well, now with this, we can take this exact season. So we could say this perfect cross the quarterfinal leaderboard. We can do a huge analysis off of this because everyone in the world that qualified, the top 10% of the world, got to do these workouts. At semifinals, we can pull this year from 2 workouts that all 300 men and 300 women will have had to do. And then we can continue to look at the games performances. So of the athletes that made it through this year, how they do at the games relative to everyone else. And what you'll see is, for example, that the women in, the problem with the games is that sometimes you have a situation like Asian men this year, where 3 of them made it, but none of them competed. 2 didn't make it because of travel issues. 1 withdrew after the first day of competition, so they finished in the bottom 3 spots. So that would skew the data. But in the case of like the European women, where they have half the number of competitors as the North American women making it to the games, and those 10 are performing just as well as the 20. So there's probably, and the numbers support this, and I've written about it. You could pull a couple from North America and give them to Europe. You could pull another one from Asia and give it to Australia or from South America or whatever, and balance it out a little bit more.
Solution, problem solved. Okay, women. Tia Toomey, first place, dominant performance, and I think from the worldwide leaderboard we saw she was the number 1 in the world. Cara Sanders, second place. Ellie Turner, third. And I want to jump down to 5th place here. Madeline Sturt, and then 6th place Jamie Simmons. Sorry, Bailey Rogers, I don't mean to diss you at all.
Wow.
Are we surprised that Jamie Simmons is down here at 6th?
Not necessarily. I mean, when I look at this, I see 5th, 4th, and 3rd in the aerobic capacity, tests here. Or the gymnastics stamina tests that were the first 3, and then I see a 36th and a 30th, both of which are probably limited by her lifting, which is probably a result of coming back from whatever injury she had last year and how serious that might have been. So we got 2 months until semifinals, and maybe she'll be able to be a little bit more confident with that. Also, there'll be 7 tests instead of hopefully 6 or 7 tests, I guess. 7 would be ideal instead of 5. So, even if she does take a hit on a lifting event, it won't be as penalizing because there'll be less people in more events. So I think this is probably a pretty good place for her. But Ellie Turner's going to be hard to beat. Maddie Stewart's going to be hard to beat. Bailey Rogers had a great performance here. And there's a couple women that are a little further down the leaderboard that are good as well. And we've talked about it. We'll continue to talk about it. It's really, really competitive.
I hope Maddie Sturt makes it. You've told me her story a few times. Oh, who's her boy? Jay Crouch is her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that Maddie doesn't get to go. She's a fucking OG. She needs to be in their rock.
No, what sucks is that Tia, Cara, and Jamie have done so well for so many years, and that has actually earned them less spots in their region because they used to get 5 up to 2018.
Penalized for your success. One of the components of wokeism. Okay. Let's go to the worldwide leaderboard. I'm so excited to see where Cara Saunders is.
Oh, it's crazy.
You don't know yet?
No.
Well, let me tell you this before we go
there. This is so good.
This is kind of crazy also, Sevan, before we go to the worldwide. Okay. Tia had 7 total points, seven total points across 5 workouts, 3 first, 2 seconds. That was the lowest point total of any person who won their quarterfinal by continent, man or woman.
Okay.
The second lowest was Cara, also from Oceania in women at 16. Technically, she tied with Sung Young Choi out of Asia. So she's tied for second. So the lowest 2 came from the same region.
Yeah. Which drives your point even further. I mean, it's a nail in the coffin. Sorry, Angelo, go ahead.
The 3 Australian girls we just talked about, all in the top 15. I mean, they have 3 spots, and 2 of those girls are in the top 3. That's pretty tough.
Well, okay. That being said, in the top 15 also we have 6 North American, and they
have that's 20 spots, I think, right?
And they get double the amount of spots, right?
Way more than double, right?
You have 7 because you have to remember that Canada counts as North America.
Yeah.
Right.
And then for Europe, you get Gabby, Sarah, Emma, Jacqueline, and Emma Tall. So you've got 5 or 6 there. So it's pretty close. And yet they, North American women are still continuing to get twice as many. And if you go down,
but they deserve twice as many based on that.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
you just said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not twice as many.
No. I'm saying Oceania.
They have 3? Yeah.
They have 3, and North America has in the top 15 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they get they get 4 times as many. Is that what you're saying? It's 30 versus 120.
No, it's 20 versus 3 spots to the games.
Okay. All right.
And it's 20 and it's 10 in Europe.
You're right. So that
I think we're saying the same thing though.
Right. So with that logic, just so we sort of agree, they either deserve 10 or North America only deserves 6. Right?
I think that's a little crude, but I've written about this. I'll probably write about it again before semifinals. And it's
going to take more than $4 a night. Mike, I want to thank you for your money, but it's going to take a fucking crowbar and a bat to get that out of them. It's not going to be money. What are your podium pictures?
I don't even understand the question.
He wants to know who's going to win the games this year. We'll do a show. That's the. There's girls who. Okay, I'm not even going to say that. Brian will get mad at me. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the dudes. Tighter field, more competitive field, which fits your narrative that it's a deeper field. And anything surprising here? Wow, look at these Panchik brothers. My goodness.
I would say that in general the names are not surprising, but maybe a little bit the order is, and especially seeing, I would say like Gia in 2nd and Chandler in 4th on the worldwide leaderboards are very impressive performances here. Again, it's 5 tests, but everyone took the same tests, and you see who's on the top. So it's not a fluke that Gia and Chandler are up there. They're looking really good early on in this season.
Where's Zach George on this worldwide leaderboard?
Oh my God.
He's coming on the show tomorrow at 7 a.m. Did I mention that?
You did mention that. He is in 120th.
I love it.
One spot behind Travis Mayer.
Oh, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good company.
I think Travis Mayer was first in the worldwide leaderboard for the quarterfinals last year, though, or at least in North America.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The Panchik brothers, we have 3 of the top 18 have come from the same mommy and daddy. Has that ever happened before? I guess we haven't had quarterfinals long enough to say that. Very impressive.
It is very impressive. We can say that regardless. And I should also point out Willie George in 10th place there. Also missed last year due to injury. He's coming back, entering to mix in that very competitive men's Europe field. And obviously a very, very impressive performance. Only BKG outperformed him from the European men.
Notice that if you look at the top 10, top 11, there's no first place finishes until you get to 13th place. I guess Noah Olson had a second. Noah Olson is the highest finishing person.
What does that tell you, Sevan?
I don't know. What does that tell me? That you have to
There's a lot of good men out there.
That you have to have GPP. You can't be a one-trick pony.
Yeah, because you're looking at, and this is, okay, click, whoever's running the back end, click on workout 3 and sort from the top down. So we can see some of these things I'm talking about. Scroll all the way up to the top, click on workout 3, and we'll see. First place.
Wow, that guy's in 3,696 place.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm not buying any of these scores as legitimate scores until you get down to the first score that I potentially think could be a real score on here is Jeff Adler, 34th. I don't know about any of these other ones. Mitch Spute. I said Mitch Spute at 1302, maybe. Yeah. The rest of these guys, you can just look at their placements in the world. There's no way.
Yeah, no.
So this will all be fixed, and these scores will all look very different in a couple of days from now. It won't change very much. Everyone's just like the guys that have 189, 203, 241. All those scores will just go up by 30.
Do they know? Does CrossFit Inc. know this? Does CrossFit HQ know this?
They better.
They should just make an announcement. Hey guys, we've got some issues. Like what? They should,
one of the things that I'm not sure is what's going on. It would be fun
if they announced this slowly, like gave us stuff. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they're tweeting that shit. I don't do Twitter.
I don't know. This is a huge undertaking to score this kind of a competition. So, and it's a big team across probably the whole world that's doing it and reviewing these videos and whatever. But this is something that should have been on their radar really early. It's been over 24 hours now. I was talking about this with Patrick Clark and Tommy Marquez at like 3:30 or 4:30 p.m. yesterday. So, if we're talking about it, they should be talking about it. This should have been fixed, in my opinion, by now.
Okay. There's some things I want to talk about when we're getting along now. Did we get an update on Annika Greer? Did she get her score in by any chance? And do we know if it's like something serious?
Let's see. She still has 1 score outstanding. And I don't have any definitive information on that.
Okay, and I'm guessing. I wonder what that's like, the process in trying to prove that you had some sort of like technical error, like the power went out. And I hadn't thought of this, but I mean, I guess all games athletes have to think of this. If your scores have to be in by 5, you better have your workouts done by 3, right? Like you need 2 hours to like.
Even before then, I mean, and especially you think about like she's in Vegas and the West Coast. Like there's absolutely no excuse for this. These workouts were announced on Thursday at noon. You didn't have to turn that score until Sunday at noon. There's no reason, none, 0. This should never happen. And if it is a problem, it's completely on them. This is not on CrossFit.
Did we talk about
I just want to say this. Bosman was explicitly clear on multiple platforms. No late submissions will be allowed. If you're having a problem, do this. They put out the information. So if she doesn't end up being allowed in because she didn't get her score on time, it's on her and her team completely, not on CrossFit at all. No, come on. They very clearly communicated this in multiple ways. And like you said, but maybe I'm misunderstanding here. I was multitasking. But let's say the power went out in her town 5 hours before and it didn't go back on. Well, that might be the case. And if the case is where they were trying to submit and they realized they had a problem, there's a protocol to follow. and then you're supposed to contact support@crossfit.com, communicate what the issue is. There's a timestamp on that, and there's this is why they advised you to also include a timestamp on your video when you were recording it. And then there's a process that will be carried out. And if I don't know what the timeline for that process is. So it's possible that that's what's going on. When I heard Danielle say we're working on it and kind of smile, it seemed like that may possibly be the case. Like that's the only thing that makes sense to me logically. And so, we'll see.
I'm trying to get some information here on workout number 3. Do you guys see an athlete?
What?
Do you guys see an athlete named can you type in Owen Bernstein?
Yeah, what about him?
What's his score for workout number 3?
Very fast. Probably faster than it's possible to do.
Okay. So here's the trip. How is he? We just put those in order.
Oh my, wait. His workout was actually adjusted. His time was adjusted probably very, very soon, like recently, to 118 reps. So this is exactly what I thought would happen. So he had done half the shuttle runs. That's basically what that means. They're assessing some kind of a penalty here. That's basically, it looks like it's if you click on his score and you go down there. So it says he got 8 shuttle runs after the 32 wall ball shots. So I mean, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but basically I think they're not crediting him for any shuttle runs after the actual amount that he did in the workout.
Okay.
Wow.
And this is just people just misunderstanding.
Yeah, and so now
like this is clearly, when you have so many of these mistakes, no one's doing this on purpose. It's like, do you know what I mean? No one's cheating, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was very clear. I mean, and by the
Jeff Adler, who was in 34th on this workout, is all the way up to 26th already. So they're actually eradicating this as we're talking about it.
Okay.
Are they listening to us?
Say that again.
Are they listening to us? Because they're like making the exact changes as we're talking about them.
Well, I like it, and I like it, and I'm okay with it. This should happen.
I'm glad they're
And
listening.
it should, like I said, this is a huge undertaking to score this competition. 16,000 people qualified to participate in it or something like that. And they're
they're changing in real time. You're right. It was just 11:36 was the fastest score. Now it's 12:25.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're on top of it, and we're choosing to have this podcast right now, and we are fully aware that the leaderboard is going to change. It is not official, but it's cool to see. And look, all those things that are changing, they're going to affect the points. They're not going to affect the big storylines, and the big storyline is basically this appears to be a really good test because most of the people that you'd expect to do well at a CrossFit competition did. I think it's also a huge success from the perspective of just the community. You saw so many people, whether they're just basically barely making it in, or some of the best in the world, that seem to be enjoying these workouts, enjoying the competition, posting their big results, PRs, great times. So I think it feels to me like the quarterfinals was a success this year.
Stop making excuses, Sevan. I'm not making excuses. It's not a mistake. It's people not reading the rules for their sport. Well, couldn't that be a mistake that you didn't read the rules for your sport? It sounds like a pretty big mistake to me. We'd have to look up the definition of mistake. But chill out. No one's saying that they should receive a trophy for this. I just don't think that they should be accused of fucking cheating by making a mistake or whatever. I don't care what you call it. I just think it's don't get your panties in a twist. Okay. Bring back regionals. Yes, I agree. Sevan, you see Brian's PR snatch? No, I didn't. How is your snatch, Brian?
You haven't seen that?
Mistake, an action or judgment that is misguided or wrong. Yeah, so that's it. They're just wrong. They were wrong.
Brian PR'd a snatch, right? That's what you said, at 185 during the workout?
I did.
Congratulations. That's awesome. And that was your goal too, right?
It was. I thought I might hit it last year at quarterfinals. I never hit it the entire year, but I did hit it this year.
What was your PR before hitting it today? Or not today, but a couple days ago?
180.
Oh,
I'd hit it once, and I'd hit 175 a handful of times.
Who's out of Colton Mertens, Taylor Self, and Jason Hopper, who finished the highest?
And what leaderboard?
The worldwide leaderboard.
The worldwide leaderboard. Probably Hopper. Hopper is in 33rd. Right behind.
Good job, Jason.
Just ahead of him are Tudor Magda and Jake Berman.
Oh, we talked about Tudor yesterday, right? Tudor's over at James Townsend's gym.
Yeah, and we had Jake Uber driver Berman on the show.
That's right. Jake, the Armenian Berman. Oh wow! Look at Houdet.
Arms dealer.
Taylor Self, 54th overall leaderboard.
All right, good job, Taylor.
And Colton Mertens, 83rd.
Can the guy who took 83rd in the quarterfinals win the CrossFit Games?
Let's get Ben Berger on that.
He'll do the math. No, we need Tyler. I thought that's a Tyler Watkins thing. Oh, that's right. Because you mean in the show he gave the yeah, that's right. I hear you. We talked about let's talk about manganese. Manon Anganese. She made a pretty lengthy post. I tried to read it. Is English her second language?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Or fourth or third or whatever those smarty pants are over
probably
there.
Speaks Belgium and German at least.
She was doing the quarterfinals, but there was no chance of her coming anyway, right? She can't come to the United States anyway, right?
I don't know.
I think she already made a claim that she wasn't going to take the vaccine just to come compete in the games.
Is that you can't get into the United States without it still?
I don't think so. That's a good question.
I don't know. Hopefully that changes though.
Are you following her story, Brian? Do you have anything you want to say about her?
No, it's just like, I read that post and I'm just kind of like, obviously we don't know exactly what happened. Basically, it sounds like she didn't submit one of her scores in time, and she'd done these workouts and she'd done really well on them. And she was, similarly to some of the people we talked to yesterday, Taylor Self in particular, she's, organized her entire life with the objective of making it to the games. And, here she's finding it out for us.
You are a non-U.S. citizen, non-U.S. immigrant, and not fully vaccinated. You will not be allowed to enter the United States of America. Crazy. Can you pull up her Instagram account? Sorry to interrupt, Brian. Keep going. So you're saying, and we don't know what the issue is with the score, why it didn't get in.
Right. And I have heard like, through the grapevines or whatever, that there may be other Europeans that also had an issue with this, and that basically everyone felt like they were 1 hour off. But I'm just going to stick by what I said before. Like, why are you waiting till the last hour? If you're that good, you should be prepared for this competition. I mean, look, I'm training guys that are finishing in the 1,000 to 3,000 spot in North American men, and we're well prepared for this. We're not like, we had Sunday set aside as an extra day if we need it, because we had a plan, and these people can do all the workouts in one day. We saw that with Chandler Smith and Kristen Holt. Like, there's absolutely no reason that you should be putting it that close to begin with, and so.
When we see her post, can anyone can we? I think her name is.
Yeah, I just don't know how to spell her name, or
I just put it in there.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Souza. On a quick report, the gentleman, the drug addict that Jake Berman gave money to yesterday on the live show, died of an overdose with the money that Jake Berman gave him. He OD'd on fentanyl, and I want to apologize on behalf of anyone who gives money to drug addicts. Okay, here she is. That's not a good position to be in. Okay, let's see. Will you click on that photo? The on her knees, devastated photo.
Wow, that's a lot.
People will say when your hour will come, you will enjoy it like the best moment of your life, but that's already what I repeat to myself every single day. It's one of the hardest heartbreaks I've ever had, and I'm not sure if my destiny is to make it to the games one day. Today, I feel like I'm almost 30, and I accomplished nothing in my life. Oi, 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 oi. Okay.
Wow.
And so someone in the comments said the clocks went forward an hour today, maybe in Europe. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just,
This is a little harsh. The first comment is CrossFit don't care about the Europeans. It doesn't care. But
they actually changed they actually specifically changed the time of the announcements for all of the workouts for all stages of competitions to noon to specifically accommodate European markets. So that's
yes, and I am fully against that. I want to reiterate what Brian just said. All the years before, the Open was announced at 5 p.m. They switched it to noon because of some inclusivity shit because of you fucking Europeans. So when you post something like they don't care about you, you're a jackass.
Yeah, that's just
okay. That's it. But I don't want to take away from her devastation. You're allowed to feel sorrow. You've clearly devoted your whole life to it, and if you're, I feel for you. It sucks.
It does suck, but I just can't understand why you would wait so long anyway. They, in the old days of the Open, when as soon as you put your score in, then people could see it and try to beat it, and it was actually really difficult to qualify for regionals. Then you had that huge pile up right towards the last hour. In this case, CrossFit was very explicit. Put your score in whatever you want. No one will see it until this time. So you should have done the workout and done what Haley Adams is. Done the workout, put your score in, done. If you do it again, change it at that point. Don't say, I might do it again, so I might wait, or whatever else you're waiting for. And if you're uploading a video, that takes time. So you need to allow for time for that to happen.
Scott Cavanaro, the CrossFit rules for workouts aren't rocket science. It's bonkers. People fuck it up. It's fitness. I kind of want to agree with you, but you have to understand there's countries like Canada where more than half their kids are still fucking masked. There's countries like Australia. There's countries like the US where you're not allowed to come here without a drug injection.
There's also
from
5
Pfizer.
pages worth of explanation of how to do the other total.
You know, people are stupid already.
To explain the standards for bench press, overhead squat, and clean. That's a lot.
We know how dumb everyone is. Yeah. The rules are harder than following the rules of the world. Okay. I think we did a good job today. Anything that's just like, holy shit, congratulations, or man, you shit the bed. Like anyone you want to just call out and give love to, or to say, hey, just go kill yourself.
No, oh gosh. I think we should just acknowledge the fact that Bethany Shadburn did in fact make an announcement today on her Instagram that she's not going to be continuing with the season, and she had a little back flare up warming up for the total, or the other total, which was probably going to be the first workout she did, and that's really probably disappointing for a lot of people who were very upset that she didn't get to compete at the games last year. She might be one of the 10 fittest in the world, and to have another setback this year for her is and for her fans, and just the general competition on the women's side of the sport is kind of a bummer. But it happens. We missed Jamie Simmons last year. We missed Sarah last year. Like, there's injuries every year, but it's just sad to see that happen to her 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that does suck. Can we see her post? I'm curious to see her post. See if we need to call counselor or something. Someone should call it if someone knows.
Oh, the nice thing is that she's you can see when we see the post, you'll see just the posture of this picture that she's selected is very different than Magnon.
Yeah, good. Let's see it. Bethany Shadburn. Also, pro tip, once you at least start uploading a video, it gives you a shareable link that you could use to submit your score.
Yeah, you can upload it as soon as possible. Just do it unlisted, and then you have the link. It's right there.
Hey, how does that?
I always do that.
So you just upload it straight to YouTube and then give them a link?
Yeah, so every time I do any kind of workout, I usually come home and I upload it onto my YouTube. It's just unlisted. I'm the only one who can see it. I'm the only one with a link. And then once it's uploaded, it's.
Oh, we'll never know.
And Angelo, you can just do that using your iPhone. You shoot the video with your iPhone and then just go to YouTube and upload, and then you choose from your videos and just push the button and it goes.
Yeah, and then it's uploaded and it's in the unlisted folder. And if I ever need to send it to somebody, it's already there. It's ready to go. I mean,
and it probably timestamps when you uploaded it too.
Exactly.
Bethany says, I pick a word every year at the beginning of January to try and use, and the word that came to my heart for 2022 was perseverance. And then I'm going to skip down. Then it's a pretty long entry, and the last paragraph is I'm super hopeful and ready to take 2022 and persevere through this. I believe I'm on the right track. I just couldn't catch a break the past couple of months to put the plan into motion fully. So once I get back to being pain-free, I can put my plan into action. It's because, like I said, I know I'm on the right path. It's just not right now. Those are the cliff notes of what she wrote. Oh, well, let me read it. Once healthy Bethany is on the competition floor, it's going to be scary. Good. Oh, scary meaning that's how good she's going to be. She's going to be scary good. Oh, wait, look at this. And ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought the show couldn't get better.
Are you guys still going?
Can you get rid of Bethany Shadburn? She's beautiful, but let's make shirtless Chase a little larger. Chase, why would you need 3 ladders? Do I see 3 ladders or is it just 2?
2.
Okay.
Chase, have you been listening the whole time? Or probably not.
No, I just finished putting my kids to bed. And I'm about to do my 30 minutes of cardio.
We had these weird things happen. We were talking about how nice it would be to have a worldwide. Well, they were 1 and 2. They've dropped down to number 3 now for the night. But we were talking about having a worldwide leaderboard, and as that was happening, CrossFit created a worldwide leaderboard on the CrossFit Games site. Yeah.
So the CEO shirt might be more than just a joke.
And then we were talking about the fact that all these scores for workout number 3 could not possibly be real and didn't make any sense. And as we were having that conversation, they started disappearing from the leaderboard.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's just a coincidence, though. Let's not be crazy. CrossFit released the worldwide leaderboard right after Jason and Brian posted on Instagram. Coincidence? I think not. Well, yeah, and you probably think Donald Trump won the election too.
Can you guys talk about my calf automatically like healing by tomorrow? Because apparently you guys are on a roll.
I think we can wrap it up. 2 hours and 9 minutes. Angelo, thank you. Brian, Chase, thanks for coming on at the end. Every show should have some nudity. Andrew Hiller, thank you for making...
Angelo, this is your future. 40 years old, buddy.
Hey, if that's my future, it's a lot better than what I thought it might look like.
Andrew Hiller, thank you for making a guest appearance with your fucking bat posse in the comments. And